How much do you charge for voiceover? It's not what you've been told. Hi, I'm Joel Schrank. I'm a professional voiceover talent and audio expert, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So I've heard other voice talent talk about the idea of getting more money by asking one question. What is that one question? What's your budget for voiceover on this project? The idea is that you can maximize your income by kind of putting the ball in the client's court and having them determine what the budget is going to be for the project so that they come up with the highest number that they're willing to pay. So if you want to put it a little bit more honestly, the actual question you're asking is, how much are you willing to pay for this voiceover project? Or, put even more honestly, how much can I get out of you? I've heard this advice on YouTube, from other VO talent, and from some of my VO coaches, and I tried it for a while. I would ask the client what their budget was, hoping that they would respond back to me with a number that was larger than what I was thinking. But most of the time, I'd either get no response at all, or they'd respond back to me asking me for an estimate. The clients were either too smart to play this game, or not knowledgeable enough about how much they should be asking for a voiceover. So what I've found in this business is that the clients that actually know the answer to the question, what's your budget for voiceover, are the clients that you don't actually have to ask that question to because they tell it to you up front. The clients where this budget question actually comes into play are usually the ones that aren't really too sure what they should be asking for voiceover. They might not work with voiceover talent a lot, and they don't really know what a good rate for voiceover is. So I've started to try and look at things from a different perspective, from those clients' perspective. So I want you to think about this. A couple of years ago, my wife and I decided to re-landscape our entire backyard. We totally redid it. So, like most people would do, we called a few different landscapers. We had them come in. Each one of them looked at it, gave us an estimate, and then we decided upon the one we wanted. We went with the one who, first of all, seemed the most professional. We liked the best. He seemed to really understand what we wanted. And second of all, he had a decent rate. What none of those landscapers did was ask us what our budget for this landscaping project was, which would seem kind of ridiculous because we had no idea how much this would cost. That's why we were calling them. They're the experts in landscaping. We wanted them to tell us, how much is this going to cost? So I apply this same logic when I'm talking to my clients about rates for voiceover. If they ask me for an estimate, I'll usually give them my typical rate, but I'll add this little addendum on. I'll say, but I'm flexible. I try to let them know that I'm open to negotiation if what I'm giving them is outside of the range of what they're willing to do. But I've also set myself up so that if they do counter with a lower rate, I can easily say, sorry, that just isn't going to work for me. But by the way, I seldom have clients counter with a lower rate. Usually they say, oh yeah, that's just fine, let's go ahead and go with it. And maybe you don't want to be flexible with your rates. You want them to be set and firm. And that's fine too. Just make sure that you're the one being the expert in voiceover to your clients. Set consistent and predictable rates so that your clients know what to expect when they're working with you. Make it as easy as possible for them to pick you. The more questions they have to answer and the more hoops they have to jump through, the less likely they are to go with you for the project. And one last thing, clients know when they're being taken for a ride. So don't try and pinch every penny you can out of them. It might get you a little bit more money for that one job, but it's going to lose you the client in the long run. Believe me. Well, I hope that's been helpful for you. Best of luck in your voiceover journey, and we'll talk to you again soon.